morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to have a chat about My First Battle, that product we saw a little while ago. We've now got more information. We got some really good product images of it, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, right? I know this might be a product which is designed for complete beginners to show people how to play the game from scratch. I am buying this. Like, day one, I am buying this. This looks so good. I am in, ladies and gentlemen. I am in. I know it's probably not meant for me. Although, to be fair, like, when I'm teaching my kids to play, this is probably going to be the first product I ever use to actually teach my kids how to play the game. But just to be clear, even if I wasn't teaching my young children how to play the game, I would still be buying this like day one, because it's actually really, really cool. Yeah, I'm kind of a fan of this. So for those of you that may have forgotten, basically the deal with this is that it is a new product which is very specifically designed to help people learn to play the Pokemon trading card game. It comes with two 17-card decks, which is clearly very, very strange, and is designed for beginners. It's a level 1 product. Now, to be fair, the Battle Academy is actually a level 1 product. This is below the Battle Academy. Because the Battle Academy is, as I've explained it a few times in the past, it is the Pokemon trading card game reimagined as a board game. So that is very much the real Pokemon trading card game, but just with free pre-made decks that you sit down and play. This is not in every way the real Pokemon trading card game. No, it is in essence, don't get me wrong. But when I say it's not the real Pokemon trading card game, what I mean by that is we have, each player has 3 prize tokens rather than 6 prize cards. That's a big change. And you're playing with 17 card decks rather than 60 card decks. That's a big change. And the cards are very different, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's fair to say. For instance, if we have a look at these images here, we can see there's no retreat cost, there's no weakness, there's no resistance. And although we do have that little bit of the card, at the bottom with the little borders, where that information would potentially go, there's no, it doesn't say weakness, resistance, or retreat cost. It's not going to be added. The part of the card is technically there, but it's not going to be added. So this is very much a very simplified, pared down version of the game to help you learn the game. And really, what it's going to be essentially is you start with this, and then you move on to something like the Battle Academy. And certainly that's my plan. I mean, my daughter's 5. Honestly, when this product releases, I think my 5-year-old is going to be able to handle it. Now, we haven't seen the exact rules and the rulebook and all of that, but from everything we have seen of this product, it really does seem like my 5-year-old is going to be able to use this and learn to play the game. We play simple tabletop games at home. I think my 5-year-old is going to be able to learn how to play this game. And when she's confident with this, I'm going to go buy the Battle Academy, both of them, and then we're going to be able to go from there. And that's going to be lovely. So for that reason, I think it's really cool. So what do we know about this? What have we learned? Well, we've seen the cards. Here are 4 of the cards. And you'll notice, actually, here's the boxes. Let's start with the boxes. Because you can see here that there are very clearly 2 different versions of it. One featuring Squirtle and Charmander, the right one, and one featuring Bulbasaur and Pikachu. Now, what this also means, and this is pretty gosh darned important, is that means there are going to be 4 of these decks in existence. So each of them comes with 2 decks. They're clearly different products. That means if you buy both of these products, and I will absolutely be buying both of these products, that means there are basically 4 of these decks. So when you're playing, you can rotate between the 4 decks, and you can take it in turns to play the Bulbasaur deck, the Charmander deck, the Squirtle deck, and the Pikachu deck. This is where the lack of weakness and resistance, especially weakness to be honest with you, really, really comes in handy. This is designed as a way to, at least it very much seems to be, as a way to learn to play the Pokemon trading card game. Is anybody going to want to play the Charmander deck against the Squirtle deck, bearing in mind they come in the same box? Fine, Bulbasaur and Pikachu don't, hit for weakness and they're in the same box, but these are in the same box and they do. So, if you buy this box and weakness is a thing, does anybody actually want to play the Charmander deck, or is everyone going to be fighting over the Squirtle deck? That is not a fun way to play the game. That is why weakness has to be removed. There's no real choice here. You have to take away weakness. It doesn't work if you don't remove weakness. Good? Good. But you'll notice that the attacks are very, very simple. All of the attacks here are vanilla attacks with no effects. In fact, all 4 cards we've seen so far are exactly the same. Single coloured energy 10, 2 coloured energy 30. Now, we've only seen 4 cards. They are 17 card decks. Obviously, some of that is energy. By the way, the reason why it's 17 card decks, you draw an opening hand of 7 cards, there are no prize cards, so then there's a 10 card deck after drawing your opening hand. That makes perfect sense. But as it stands at the moment, there are no extra effects. It is very simply attach an energy, announce an attack. Now, in this way, the game's not going to be fun, because whoever attaches the first energy and gets the first attack is going to win the game, like every time. Because you're all just going to be doing like the same amount of damage. So, yeah, if you go second, you hit 10, and then they hit you for 30, and then you hit them for 30, and then they hit you for 30, and you've got 10 HP remaining because they've all got 70, and then you get a KO, and then they get a KO, but then you get the first hit, and round we go. So basically, with just the 4 cards we've seen, it's going to be a very boring back and forth. There's got to be more to it than that, or else literally whoever goes second, as long as they don't whiff an energy or run out of Pokemon early, they will win the game like every single time. Because you're going to be free hit KOing, whoever gets the first attack, even for 10, is going to win every single time. But there's going to be more to it than this. If we have a look at the, we've had a look at kind of the play area here, you'll notice that actually we've got bench spots. It looks like only 3. But again, we're playing with 10 card decks. There may well only be 4 Pokemon in the deck, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. But we have got fewer bench spots than we would usually have. We've got the active, we've got places to, put the energy down and all of that. We've got the deck. It might be slightly different in terms of rules. It does come with a rule book. Maybe there's going to be a separate energy deck. I don't know. Maybe there is an energy spot where you guarantee an energy every turn so you never whiff energy. I don't know is the honest answer, but I'm just saying there is an energy spot next to the active spot. That could be where you put the energy, or it could be to kind of guarantee that you have energy every turn. If you're asking me to guess, I'm assuming it's going to be where you put the energy. You'll notice you do get a coin in each one. One, just featuring the Pokemon. So one has Pikachu and Bulbasaur, one has Squirtle and Charmander. That is a reason to buy the product as it is. But if we take one last look at the cards here, you'll notice a bunch of cool things. They've got blue borders. They've got set symbols, which are the silhouettes of the relevant Pokemon. Don't expect any more, by the way. There are clearly 4 decks, a Pikachu deck and a Bulbasaur deck, and a Charmander deck and a Squirtle deck. But you've got a little Pokeball stamp on the card as well. These are new cards we haven't seen elsewhere. They're not going to be tournament legal. They've got different card backs. They don't have weakness, resistance, retreat cost information. There is absolutely no way these are going to be tournament legal. We don't even have to ask that question. It's a guaranteed no. But they're new. I mean, the art on the Charmander is actually kind of beautiful. And these are real cards drawn by real artists. And sure, and I don't know how you feel about this. Like, the fact they've got the Pokeball stamp and the different set symbols with the stamps of the little Pokemon on the silhouettes and the different borders makes me want these cards more. From a collectability standpoint, these are actually extremely cool. I understand not everybody's going to be into them, and that's fine. Me personally, I think they're awesome. So I'm going to be buying these, partly to teach my kids how to play, but partly just because they're really cool. And I really like these. And I'm a pretty gosh darn big fan. Right, I think that's what you need to know, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's all the information you need, and now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me how excited you are. Tell me if you're going to be picking it up, or tell me if it's a skip from you. Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And of course, get shoutouts on the channel like the lovely Tobias DePrato, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and seems to be a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.